This video is going to go over how to use Pythagorean Theorem in real-life situations to find a missing measurement. The first question we're going to look at, it says, how far up the wall is a 13-foot ladder if the base of the ladder is 8 feet away from the wall? So no matter what our situation is, we're trying to form a right triangle. So I'm going to draw in a right triangle. You can make yours going to the left or the right, it doesn't matter. And I'll put my right angle box in there. Okay, then the things we know, it says how far up the wall. Okay, so we don't know the measurement on the wall. We know that there's a 13-foot ladder, and then we know that the ladder is 8 feet away from the wall. So now I can go in and label the parts of the triangle that I know. So the wall is what we don't know, and that's over here. A wall goes straight up and down. Then it said that the ladder was 13 feet long. It's a 13-foot ladder. The ladder is what is leaning over. I know it's 13. It kind of looks like a B, so let me make that better as a 13. That looks horrible too. 13 feet. And then the last thing is the ladder is 8 feet away from the wall. So that would be on the ground. It's down here. And it's 8 feet away. Okay. So now that we have that labeled, we can go back and we can determine which part A, B, or C is missing. Remember, wherever your right angle is, the two lines that connect it form your A and B, or your legs. So it doesn't matter which one is which, but these two are A and B. The longest line, or the slanted line that's across from the right angle, is always C. So I'm missing one of the legs. So I'm going to set up my formula. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And that is an A, not a 9. Then I'm saying that the wall is A, so I don't know that measurement, so I'm going to leave it alone. B I know is 8 feet, so 8 squared. C was the ladder, and it was 13, so I have 13 squared. I'm going to continue to keep A by itself because I don't know it, but 8 squared, you can type it in your calculator, or else 8 times 8 is 64. You can either type in 13 squared or 13 times 13, that's 169. So remember, if you know the big number at the end, but you have a little number missing, we're not going to add, we're going to subtract these two values. So 169 minus 64. We can think about this as a normal equation. Subtract 64 from both sides. And then I get A squared is 105. Then my final answer, I need to know what is square root of 105. And then in the directions, it said this time round to the tenths place. I know that I told you guys go to the hundredths place unless otherwise told to. So this one, the directions on your assignment say round to the tenths place. When you type that in your calculator, it is 10.24. And since we're going to the tenths place, we're going to look at the hundredths place digit. That's not big enough to round up. So we're going to say it's approximately 10.2 feet up the wall. Number 7, this one says 2 telephone poles, 22 feet and 29 feet high, respectively, are 70 feet apart. How long is the wire from the top of one pole to the top of the second pole? Assume that the wire is tight and that the wire is attached at the edge of each pole. So perfectly on the edge. What we have here is we have 2 telephone poles. Okay, those go straight up and down. Their measurements are 29 and 22 feet. So I can draw 2 telephone poles, 29 and 22. So this entire thing is 29. Whoops. And this pole is 22. Then it said they are 70 feet apart. So that means on the ground or up here. Either way, these are 70 feet apart. And we want to know how long is the wire that's stretched at the top from one pole to the other. How far is the wire? Okay. Right here in this corner would be a right angle. So what I need to find out is how much more was up at the top of this first pole, because it's a little bit taller than the second one. So to get that, I would just do 29 minus 22. That's 7. So that missing measurement, this tall pole is 7 feet taller. So that little bitty tiny triangle up there, basically what it's going to look like is this. It's 7, then this is 70, and then question mark. Okay. Again, the right triangle, the A and B are connecting with the right angle. So this would be an A side, this would be a B side, and then C, the wire, is the one that's missing. When I get ready to solve, A squared plus B squared is C squared is the formula for Pythagorean theorem. This time I do know A and B. So for me, I'm picking A as 7. 7 squared plus 7D squared is equal to C squared. So 7 squared, or 7 times 7, is 49. 70 squared would be 70 times 70 is 4,900. Then since I know the two small squares, I'm going to add them up. So that would be 4949. And then to get the final answer, I just find the square root of that. So square root of 4,949. And again, the directions for this entire page said round to the nearest tenths place. When you type that in your calculator, it's going to show up as 70.34. Then it keeps going, but because we're going to the tenths place, I only need to look at the second digit that's behind. 4 is not big enough to round up. So my final answer is going to be that the wire is approximately 70.3 feet in length.